All right, we're back. Good evening, everyone. This is the CSRN podcast, our weekend review, where we come to you live from Mott Branch Library. Listen, before we get into any introductions, what we're going to do, we're going to play our intro video. That way you can like, share, and comment. This is the CSRN podcast, our weekend review. We'll be right back.
I must confess that that dream that I had that day has at many points turned into a nightmare. Now, the other thing that we've got to come to see now that many of us didn't see too well during the last 10 years, that is that racism
not guilty
is still alive in American society and much more widespread.
Broke his neck after Baltimore police.
A handful of protesters, a handful of criminals and thugs who...
Many in moments of anger, many in moments of deep bitterness, engage in riots. And as long as America postpones justice, we stand in the position of having these recurrences of violence and riots over and over again. Social justice and progress are the absolute guarantors of riot prevention.
Mr. Gray's death was a homicide.
The Negro was freed from the bondage of physical slavery.
The athletes marched onto a stage.
But at the same time, the nation refused to give him land to make that freedom meaningful. Freedom without land to cultivate. Freedom and famine at the same time.
And create jobs for our people.
The Negro is to be free. He must move down into the inner resources of his own soul and sign with a pen and ink of self-assertive manhood his own Emancipation Proclamation. But I want to get the language right tonight. I want to get the language so right that everybody here will cry out, yes, I'm black, I'm proud of it, I'm black and beautiful. Individually, we are poor when you compare us with white society in America. We are poor. Collectively, we are richer than all the nations in the world with the exception of 9. That's power right there if we know how to prove it. We begin the process of building a greater economic base. And at the same time, we are putting pressure where it really hurts. We don't have to argue with anybody. We just need to go around to these stores and to these massive industries in our country. Say, God sent us by here to say to you that you're not treating his children right. We come by here to ask you to make the first item on your agenda fair treatment where God's children are concerned. Now, if you're not prepared to do that, we do have an agenda that we must follow. Our agenda calls for withdrawing economic support from you. We mean business now, and we are determined to gain our rightful place in God's world.
All right, we are back. This is the CSRN podcast, our weekend review, where we come to you live from Mott Branch Library each week. And shout out to Mott Branch Library. They always roll out the red, black, and green carpet for us. Let's get into some introductions. Who am I? I'm Brother Washington Muhammad. I'm one of the co-founders of CSRN, along with Mike Leonardi and Jabril Bey, and also an active and registered member of the Nation of Islam. I'm going to post some pictures of us soldiering on Saturday, and seems like as soon as we got out there, Jody, it started snowing. I'm like, hey, brother Michael, are we gonna just go back to the car now? But show some pictures. Had an awesome time. A lot of love being shown in Toledo. What am I wearing? Hey, listen, I had a sweater on that kind of matched my hat, but it got so warm in here while setting things up. So I'm like, well, I got a V-neck brown t-shirt on, got my beige hat. It looks white to you, but it's beige in real life. I got my brown rim glasses on. I got my beads on. And as always, I'm dedicated to respecting, protecting, and defending all Black bodies, no matter the cost, no matter the gains or loss. This is the home of Black Lives Matter and Justice or Else. And we're doing this for activist culture and the protest community. Jody, it's awesome to have a spot, a space where activists can come and speak their mind, no filter, no opposition. And we need spaces like that.
Right.
You know, so I think that's it for me. Could you do your intro? Then we're going to get into our mission statement and guiding principles.
What's up, everybody? Jody J. Summers, child of the system, better known as Spoken Truth, the treasurer of this wonderful organization. And as we have said already, which we're going to probably say multiple times through this show, because it just seems to get under people's skin. Happy Black History Month to all.
That's right.
Melanated, urbanated people out there. I know urbanated ain't a word.
Hey,
but, you know,
it is now. We just made it up.
It is now, and is as we will go into some things and stuff later on the show. Shout out to putting it in the front of the show, Kendrick Lamar, because even though I don't watch TV or supply myself to any programming from the links, and then I finally did go back to see the message and stuff like that. So shout out to him taking the reins of the biggest publicity media show in America and making it his own. Whether you liked it, you didn't, or whatever, you know, it wasn't you on that stage. So
that's right.
All that good stuff. Shout out to anybody that is continuing to celebrate, because I know we weren't here last week because we were doing something really awesome.
That's right. That's right.
But I've seen so many organizations and corporations and stuff just say, oh, well, you know, they signed the order. We're not fighting back. We're not doing nothing.
Yeah,
we just won't have.
They just put the flyer up there. All right, they just put the
so
the
for
artwork
those
up
of you
there.
that only saw the ABC version or stuff like that and didn't check, although social media is prevalent, this is the protest behind the protest in the area that we work in, which is somewhat gray, sometimes Black, but you know, after the entertainment portion, which gets people to the audiences, you really have to talk about some real things. So shout out to you if you are still doing Black History Month programming, regardless of DEI or whatever the Orange Man signing, Gulf of America, and all of that stuff.
That's crazy.
It is.
That's crazy.
It's like all of my things that I wrote about my books previous are just coming to life, and I'm like, no, I'm not writing no more. I'm going to take a break. But again, shout out to if you are celebrating, and thank you for coming back each and every single week with us, taking this hour or so of your time, whether it's live or later on, or sharing, telling your friends about it, coming on and being a guest on the show. It is a honor to have you guys' attention for this moment, because you could be any place in the world, but you choose to spend that time with us and our awesome background and stuff. So how do you get to that point? How do you make it through the minutia of everybody telling you what you should do, what you can't do, sit down, stand up, raise your hand, be quiet, all that other stuff? And then, you know, there's many people that will have different feelings. You could be marching down the same road and they branch off over here. You're not supposed to follow everybody. So we have a mission statement
and our guiding principles,
which pretty much keeps us together when, you know, there are splinter cells or people that's just like, I got kids, I got this stuff, or whatever reasons for them not being able to continue to fight, go off. And you got somebody else holding the reins. That is one thing about organizations in life, this is a decade for us.
That's right.
How many things in your life have you done for a decade consistently? Most people don't even go to school that long. That's another question.
I feel attacked.
And before I read this, also because we love Toledo and everything, shout out to, I may not know the person, but I've seen enough flyers about it. Shout out to our UT native that is now won the first Super Bowl.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
And to locally, even more home, shout out to Metro Parks for deciding to put a post up that had nothing to do about anybody else except celebrating others, and got swamped.
Got trolled.
Yeah, to the point they had to cut it down from people who own jobs, businesses, or officials and other stuff in the city, but yet they chose to still stay strong and support Black History Month. So this is our mission statement. We thank you again for listening, for tuning in, for not trying to cancel us. Even if you did, it wouldn't work. We are the Community Solidarity Response Network of Toledo, formed on November 25th, 2014, the day after it was announced that the killer, a Ferguson, Missouri police officer of Michael Brown, an unarmed teenager, would not be indicted. We bring awareness to the injustices experienced by Black men, women, and children who are disproportionately murdered, attacked, provoked, and harassed by law enforcement. Police brutality has to end. We utilize the tactic, police impunity has to end. We utilize the tactics of protest, civil disobedience, event disruption, and citizen advocacy to give voice to those who are otherwise voiceless. We facilitate progressive, community-based events that help foster self-development, and we discuss measures to hold local leadership accountable, yes, accountable to their sworn duties, be they politician, clergy, law enforcement, educators, etc., etc. We want justice, equal justice under the law. We want justice applied equally to all, yes, all, regardless of class, creed, or color. For all lives to matter, Black lives, yes, Black lives must matter. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr.
All right, and before we get to our guiding principles, I want to give a shout out to Lot Industries today. I spent maybe about an hour there from 10 to 11, and Tierra and the staff invited me out today to do some Black History talk and to bring my drums. So I brought my drums, I brought my noise makers, the staff, the workers. Man, we had a good time. We had a really good time. And now that I'm streaming this live, I'm like, oh man, I was supposed to be at work from live too. Hey, all right. Hey, it is what it is. All right. I came there looking for a job. I guess I'll leave there looking for one too. All right. But shout out also to Lyman Unit, one of the best places that I've had the opportunity to work with, great people that I work with, and we're going to make it happen. Hey, these are the guiding principles, and the guiding principles is that glue that keeps us together. We had said this at the flag raising, and we got some really great pictures from Lucas County, took some pictures. The city of Toledo took some pictures. You took some pictures too. All right.
Some of the news stations took pictures. I'm going to find y'all.
Find them. Yeah, find them. And even though all of us as activists could be doing this individually, how do we maintain order when we all come together? And these are CSRN guiding principles. All Black lives matter, queer Black lives, trans Black lives, formerly and presently incarcerated Black lives, poor working class Black lives, differently able Black lives, Black men and women lives, immigrant Black lives, Black elderly and children lives. All Black lives matter and are the creators of this space. We throw no one under the bus. We rise together. Ashe.
Ashe.
And that means one who changes a thing or one who makes a thing happen. Thriving instead of surviving. Our vision is based on the world we want, not the one we're currently in. We seek to transform, not simply react. We want our people to thrive, not just exist. Think beyond the possible. Ashe?
Ashe.
Experimentation and innovation must be built into our culture. Critical reflection must be a part of all of our work. We learn from our mistakes and our victories. Ashe?
Ashe.
Principal struggle can exist in a positive environment. We must be honest with one another by embracing direct, loving communication. Ashe?
Ashe.
Love, self-love is based in all that we do. Love and self-love must be a driver of our work and an indicator of our success. Without this principle and without healing, we will harm each other and undermine our movement. Ashe?
Ashe.
360-degree vision. We honor past struggles and wisdom from elders. The work we do today builds the foundations of movements of tomorrow. We consider our mark on future generations. Ashe?
Ashe.
Self-care means we build resilient spaces by budgeting time, energy, and resources for healing. Self-care is a regular, consistent, intentional, and essential practice. Ashe?
Ashe.
The most directly affected people are experts at their own lives and should be in leadership at the center of our movement and telling their stories directly. Ashe?
Ashe.
Training and leadership development should be fundamental. Our movement must constantly grow and leadership must constantly multiply. Ashe.
Ashe.
Jody, before we take a break, I wanted to add this to the, this is, I don't know how soon it's going to come to your screen, but I took this from the Toledo Blade. So for the Toledo Blade, these are pictures from the Toledo Blade. All right. This is from the flag raising ceremony. And we got some more that we're going to share later on. I think this is when we went outside and we were doing the CSRN pledge.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see what's next. Next is really good pictures coming up. It's going to take the IT team to put it on the screen. But what you're seeing and what Jody can't see is Rashid Spencer and Jody actually raising the flag on that day.
With the live camera in one hand while I was recording.
Yeah, we got that. We got that too. And next on the screen, we've got Crystal Dixon. We've got Pete Gherkin, some of the other commissioners and city council and others that came to see the flag raising ceremony. There is the flag. And I think this is the first year that our flag flown on the City of Toledo pole.
Nope. 2023. We had third
all
pole.
right.
Sometimes rotates around. One year it was actually above the state flag, which we had to take it down at the ceremony and stuff.
They took it down. I wasn't climbing up there. All right. And let me see if
This is also my first year actually raising the flag. Is if you looked on our page, look at my page. Previous years, I'm always recording because the logistics of holding the hand. I need that photo too. Right.
Well, we got all the photos, and we'll give credit to the Toledo Blade. I don't want no smoke. All right. This is Carrie Hartman. This is Cassandra McPherson and Jody right here. I hope I
just endorsed both of them last night.
Okay. All right. This is yours truly. We've got Lisa Sabecki, Brittany Jones, Jody, Pete Gherkin, and Rashid. And let's see, do I have one more? That's Pete Gherkin. That is Darlene Newburn Sweeney, who is the new head of the NAACP right here in Toledo. And I've known Darlene for maybe about 15 years. And it's like wherever she is at, truth's going to be told. All right, zero filter. And I'm loving it. Let's see, do they have one more? That is Anita Lopez and myself and Rashid. And do I have another picture? All right, this is pull out. This is when you took pictures of everyone. And I don't know if they really wanted pictures to be taken. And I kind of gave you the look like, I think you're going to get somebody in trouble. But isn't that what we do?
As I said, when I bring up my camera, even when I'm on stage, if you're not supposed to be here, run.
All right. So here's what we're going to do, Jody. We're going to take a short break. We're going to come back with we can't call her a guest anymore.
Right, she's a co-host with us.
Yeah, we're going to come back with
extended vacations like way back in the day, and never could make it to the studio.
That must be nice to just be able to just bounce, leave us hanging. Hey, who does that? All right, that's Haley. All right, didn't mean to put her name out there. All right, y'all know y'all control her like y'all trolled the Metro Parks. All right, I said what I said. Hey, let's take a break and be right back. This is the CSRN podcast, our weekend review. We'll be right back.
Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
Did you know addiction is a disease, not a moral dilemma? The opioid epidemic and substance use have a major impact on communities of color and many people's lives. Wasion Wellness Recovery Support Center offers culturally relevant inpatient and outpatient behavioral health treatment and recovery support services to any Ohioan struggling with addiction, mental health, or finding sober-safe housing. We must recognize that treatment is available and accessible to all. If you are in need of treatment or want to find out more information, you can call 1-888-728-2713 to talk to someone or schedule an appointment.
Now you can get the same uncompromising truth you've come to expect from the Final Call newspaper on all your connected devices. Subscribe to the Final Call digital edition today. Go to subscribe.finalcalldigital.com.
Hey, that's right. We are live. Thanks, Jody, for messing us up. We're live. This is the CSRN podcast, our week in review. And as always, whenever we have a guest or really our co-host, all right, we ask who you are, what are you wearing, and what are we talking about today?
So I am Haley. I have on a white shirt, a blue sweater, and some brown pants. And I have on glasses.
All right.
Glasses.
Okay. All right. Hey, listen, you and I had a conversation earlier this week about the show and the direction of the things that we're going to be discussing. And of course, we always talk about what's happening in our community, what's happening nationally, internationally, and we try to fit it within an hour. All right. Don't want to make it too long.
Right.
So, but we got on the subject of self-care.
Yes.
What are your thoughts on self-care? What are some of the tips that you use, and why is self-care important to you?
So self-care is super important. Because if you don't take care of yourself, then you can't take care of anyone else.
That's right.
So I think a lot of times we forget how important self-care is because life is so busy. We tend to put ourselves last. For me, what I do for self-care is a lot. So I don't want to call it a New Year's resolution, but my new thing is focusing on me.
Okay.
Focusing on me above my kids, focusing on me above my job, just focusing on me because I'm always busy. So for me, I like to just color. Coloring has been my new go-to. I bought me an adult coloring book, and I journal and crossword puzzles.
Okay.
So that's my simple self-care, is just at the end of the night before I go to bed. I've learned that if I just pull out my coloring book or my crossword puzzles, it helps to calm me down some.
Okay. And when did you start this?
I started this around the new year, actually.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and it was just, it was before that. Maybe around like November-ish. And it was just on accident. I was just doodling one day, and I was going to bed, and then the next day I did it, and then the next day, and I was like, wait, this feels really good. Like, I am decompressed. So I kept doing it, and now it's just a part of my routine. I've invested in good coloring books that I like, and I invested in good pens for me to journal in. So yep, that became my self-care, is just doodling and just relaxing.
You know, we had Danielle on. I mean, we had Danielle come in the office, in the studio earlier.
Mm-hmm.
And what does she do? She does, I don't want to call it black yoga, but it definitely isn't white yoga. But I guess I could call it black yoga. Yeah, okay, all right. Well, right. I mean, she kind of said it, and she was saying something similar, you know, that a lot of the things that we can do, you don't necessarily have to go outside the house.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's some things that you can do. It's just you, and I really don't need a big crowd. How has self-care helped you balance out?
It helped me balance out because it's just giving me a clear mind. Because I am involved in so many different things and doing so much, it's given me time to just decompress, and that's been a big thing. And even if you don't feel stressed, having a relief will let you know how stressed you were. So that was the big thing for me, is just being able to just say like, hey, I thought I had this managed, and I was doing good, but just because you manage things doesn't mean that it's okay. That doesn't mean that it doesn't need to be fixed. That just means that where you are at, you are making it.
Right. And it might mean that you just have a high tolerance for drama.
Yes.
You know, I can, just because I can manage when I, stuff, I'm not going to get all the silly things that I've managed, but that doesn't mean that I'm healthy. Doesn't mean that I'm organized. Just means that, hey, look, pretty soon you're going to break down.
Yes.
You know,
it's kind of like when people say, oh, they're a functioning alcoholic. That doesn't make it okay.
No.
Like, it doesn't. They still have an issue, So
Right.
it's kind of along those lines, where it's just because you are able to cope through it and manage through it, that doesn't mean it's okay. And I think another big self-care is getting rid of negative people. Regardless of relationships. I think sometimes we're tied to relationships because it's like, oh, that's my mom, or that's my cousin, or that's my best friend. No, it's okay to take a self-care day and say, hey, on Wednesday, I'm not answering anybody's phone calls. This is my day. It's okay to tell someone, say, hey, if we're not talking positive, I don't want to hear it, And once you draw those boundaries, people will respect your boundaries if you respect your boundaries.
That's right.
So that's a big self-care for me as well.
I have this thing that I do if I'm stuck. Like if I'm stuck, I'm not going to say at work because I've got only positive people working with me at work. All right. So, but if I'm stuck somewhere where I'm in the presence of negativity, I'm shutting it off. I don't even have to comment on it, and when I get my time to remove myself, I'm out. Yes. I don't even have to go back and forth with you all over what you're saying and how you're saying it. You already know. So there's a lot of fights. Also, choosing my fight. I pass on a lot of fights. I've took some strategic retreats, all day, because I'm going to have to need some of that patience for myself.
Yeah.
So why am I going to use it all on you guys who really don't want to hear what I got to say, really don't want to care, and you'll practice either what I call aggressive ignorance. That's when you don't know and you don't want to know, and you practice what I call intellectual cowardice. That means that you don't even want to take a step toward learning something new for fear that it might disrupt where you're at right now. So those are the types of things that I use and I recognize, And if somebody is steeped in either one of those, hey, look, I'm gonna let something else teach you. All right.
Yes.
But me, I'm not here for that. I don't even have enough time to break it down to you. You know, I can't even break it down in Crayola for you. So I'm good. And unless the person asks me, hey, Brother Washington, how do you do what you do? Okay, I might give you some bits and pieces, but I'm not going to offer you advice that you haven't even asked for.
Yes.
You know,
definitely agree. I'm totally with that. That's one of the things a lot of people call me for, and they're like telling me their situations. And I've learned for me, another self-care is just like I said, like you said, is learning to retract.
Yeah,
it's okay. You know, and I'll start and say, well, never mind. And they're like, no. What did you say? What did you say?
No.
I'll say this. I'll say, listen, you did not ask for my opinion.
Mm.
You simply said you needed to vent. So let me apologize to you because you didn't ask for my opinion.
Yeah.
And a lot of times people say, no, I do want your opinion. So you're asking for my opinion now? Yes. 3, 2, 1, go time.
Right,
No.
right. and I, you know, I will do that where I say, hey, look, no, never mind. But I got to catch myself before that.
Yes.
I'll catch myself before my never mind, and I won't even say it.
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes when you start to say something and then you stop, they want to hear it.
They want to hear it.
Bro, you really don't want to hear what I got to say. But yeah, I will do that in a minute because I saved myself a world of hurt.
Yes.
By just saying, hey, no, never mind.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know you, I know what he's going to say, and I'm not going to beat him being ignorant.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to win, hands down, and I'm going to be the one left with, man, why
I should never say that. Yes.
So the thing is, most times it's not them. It's you. It's you.
Absolutely.
It's you.
Absolutely. It's
you.
accountability. You
That's
have
right.
to know that accountability. And you have to know yourself. You
That's
definitely
right.
have to know yourself. And that's one thing that I do know. And I try not to dump on people either. You know, just because I'm having a bad day and someone calls me like, hey girl, how's your day? I had a bad day. You sure you want to know? Because I'm like, I don't want to just dump all of this on you, you know. So I'm trying to be I think being self-aware is a big part of self-care as well, because you can't progress if you don't know yourself. It's hard to tell someone else or to even calm down and relax if you don't take the time to know yourself. A lot of times we all have been there where we're looking for love, and it's like, babe, just chill out and love you.
That's right.
Once you love you, everybody will love you, but you can't truly love anyone else if you don't know how to love yourself. So that's another self-care practice that I
want to put up the page of Pretty Protection because I wanted to talk about some of the things that's going on with the page.
Yes.
I follow it. And it says stay pretty and stay protected. And there's a couple of things on here. I don't know if I saw this last time.
The phones again?
I didn't see that. This is new. What's the deal with the discrete smart cell phone stun? That's a lot of words, but I'm sure
but it works.
All right.
So it's a stun gun. As you see, it looks like an iPhone. So you can charge it just like you would charge a regular phone. It takes a standard Android phone charger, and it has a flashlight as well and a stun. So at the top of it, you know what? Next time I come in 2 weeks, I'll bring it.
Bring one.
I have one. Yep, I'll bring one.
Bring one.
So that is a fun one. Disclaimer: I'm not telling anybody to do this. I'll put that out there.
All right.
I carry it when I travel. And one of the things, that's one of my favorite pieces, because that, along with the comb, is because it's discreet. So I put it in a phone case, put it in my purse. I flew to Miami.
Okay. All right.
Once again, you fill in the blanks.
All right. That's right. That's right.
But I love it. I pretty much can get that into anywhere because it is discreet. You know, when you are going places and you're like, you know, it says, I always tell people, it says no guns. It does not say no stun guns. It says guns.
That's right.
If it says weapons, you may be screwed. But if it says no guns, this is perfect protection. Because a lot of times stun guns are not things that are on the list of no's, and that, like you said, you put that in a phone case, you won't even know that it's a phone. It will that it's a stun gun. It would look like a phone.
I'm gonna let's see if I can click.
What else you got there?
Oh yeah. Well, I think we talked about the different prints.
Yes.
That you have on some of the stun guns, so you don't just have to have something basic. Black that looks like something.
No, because we're pretty protection. So we have pretty stun guns.
So right. So I don't know.
Blinged out American flag. We have a key fob. You put that on your keychain, and it looks like a key fob. You won't even tell it's a stun gun. And this one is a good one, the key fob one, because it does have the it has the battery charge. So those lights on the outside, it lets you know your battery life.
Okay.
So that's a good one as well, because it is on your keychain. You know, we put stuff on our keychain and we leave it.
This is a dynamite website too. This is a dynamite website.
And if you need a website, a good website, Nia Davis, she got us together.
Oh, you know what? Nia.
Yes.
All right.
Nia
Matter
Davis.
of fact, Nia Davis. Okay, let me look into the camera. Nia. Jody just gave me $159. All right. And he told me to call you. I don't know, that might give me one letter. All right. But yes, Jody is going to be making something happen. And we've been waiting for this, Nia. All right. I'm just talking like it's me and you. All right. All right. Yeah, she the truth.
She is the truth.
Oh, wow. Nia Davis. All right.
I had a website before, and I was, thanks to you.
Okay.
Thanks to you. I heard you speaking of her one day, and I called her up, and she worked with me, and she got me exactly what I needed. Shout out to her for the awesome website. If you need a website,
Nia Davis.
That's the person you go to right there.
I think she's on, just look her up on Facebook. She's Nia Davis on Facebook. She may be Nia Davis on Instagram or in X, formerly known as Twitter. But Jody wouldn't know anything about X, formerly known as Twitter. Okay, all right, Jody, all right. Hey, I want to scroll up, and then I got a couple other things to ask you. All right, wow. This is Nia Davis. This is awesome. You began in 2020 during the pandemic, and while most of us were shelter in place, watching Tiger King, you were working it out.
Door dashing.
Wow.
I was Instacarting, and everybody was scared to be out. Wow. I had my mask, my gloves, and my sanitizer.
I remember that.
The birds were flying low.
Yeah. Doesn't that seem like a long? Yeah. It seems like a long time ago, and a weird thing.
Yes.
That everybody complied. I say that's the time that. Not everybody.
Most of us.
But it made me see, all right, how much sucker do we have in us? All right. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. That's neither here nor there. All right, you got a way that you could contact. We got some. All right, we're gonna get down to the reviews. Ash K, she said, this is one of my favorite stores to shop because of all of the variety of stuff that she could shop for. And you do have a lot of different stuff.
So she was a first-time student. She was on her way off to college. And I remember her mom was scared. Her mom was so scared, like, this is my baby. And she bought the safety box. So the safety box is $90, and it comes with 5 items. And in those 5 items, there's a door lock for, like, if you're traveling. I always tell people this box is the perfect travel box.
Okay.
It has a window breaker in it. It has a hotel lock. So if you're traveling, you can actually put this lock in the hotel door to keep someone from coming in.
Yeah.
Or you can use it at your house or at the Airbnb, because a lot of times it's coming into that season where women are starting to travel. The weather is about to break. It's tax time. It's cruise season.
Yeah.
So I just tell women, like, we are all going on these women trips, and you're posting on Facebook. You're letting everybody know where you are. You're going to Mexico. You don't speak any English, any Spanish. So keep yourself protected. If you have a bag and you're checking your bag into the plane, all of these things can go under the plane. Put them in your bag. If you are not checking, but one person on the trip is checking a bag in, put these items in your bag. I have literally something you can take everywhere for everyone. So this box is 5 items, from a defense alarm to mace, a stun gun, a lock, as well as a window breaker. And then it comes with a pen and a notebook. And all of those. Actually, my sale just ended on Sunday, but I had a couple people inbox me that they didn't get a chance to shop. So tonight I was waiting until after the podcast.
All right,
So
let's
I wanted
go.
you guys to be exclusive and know that this is tonight. I'm going to open it back up, especially with Valentine's Day coming up. You protect their heart.
Oh, I don't know what the
Shop
hell
with
that
me.
means. I don't know what that means.
That means that.
Okay, all right, Jody. No, we feel like
different strokes for different folks.
All right, okay, all right.
But what I mean is that while you fellas are protecting the heart, give her something that she can protect herself when you're not there.
Oh, okay.
You know?
That's all right. Jody, you
there you go.
You just thinking wrong. All right. You thinking wrong. You're like, I'll buy 2 of them. No, Jody.
Jody's like, sign me up.
That's
sign
right.
Me up.
All
but
right.
he wouldn't even have to buy 2 because the entire website is buy 1, get 1 free.
All right.
So if you buy a stun gun, you can get pepper spray.
I got a couple of things to ask you, and then I need to take a break, bring Jody back. We're going to do top some loose ends. You got something with you right here.
Yes.
What is this?
This is the Mega Force stun gun. So this stun gun is one of our powerful ones, a little bit stronger, and it's small. As you can see, yes, this one is different from the flashlight. So it does have a flashlight as well. And yeah, so this is our stun gun. This, you can feel it.
Is it powered up?
No, it's not powered up.
Why would she even come here? All right.
Okay, let me change this. I thought it was powered up, but it's not powered up.
Don't you know Thanksgiving? I mean, not Thanksgiving.
Valentine's Day is coming up.
Or Thanksgiving, whatever floats your boat.
So I thought I did charge it, but I didn't charge it.
Okay, well, next time you got to bring one charged.
Yes, next time I'll have one. I'll have one.
Okay.
I have one charged.
Oh, okay. Now I'm punking out.
I have one charged.
Oh man, this is awesome.
So yes, so that too. Yep, I have more. I'll bring the phone next time as well, and some other things.
All right, before anyone comes on the show, we go over the page, we check out what they're talking about. If I'm going over Jody's page, there's too much there. So I'm like, okay, after an hour and a half, I'm like, I'm done. All right, there's a book that you were posting on your page.
There is a book.
All right.
So I am not only do I sell Pretty Protection, but I also do kindergarten readiness.
Okay.
So I do 45-minute tutoring sessions with children to help them get ready for kindergarten. Within that curriculum that I've created, I created the book as well. So this is the learning book.
Okay.
So in the book, it has, it'll come with, I'll customize it for the child needs. And it just comes with a couple of pages. This one, of course, is one that I did. And it's like all about me. It has like your parents' name. A lot of times we see kids, you say, what's your mom's name? Peaches. That's not your mom's name.
Oh, no, it's not.
That's not your mom's name.
No.
So I have the birthday, your name, your address, your phone number. You have just like the days of the week.
Oh, that's great.
And then like just kids can write their name, spell their name, some alphabets. So pretty much anything that you need to prepare for kindergarten. If your child knows all of this in this book, then they will be prepared for kindergarten.
Great.
Not only do I have that, but it comes with a game. So for gross motor and fine motor.
Okay.
And you'll just cut the cards out and it's just a matching game to help kids with their numbers. And I also tag along with, it comes with an additional 26 sheets to practice letters and numbers as well. So just, I call it the learning bundle for the kids. And it's important. I work at a preschool.
Yeah.
And there's so many children in preschool that's not fully prepared for kindergarten. So that's just my short spiel. I'm giving back.
All right. And I guess in a couple of weeks, I really would like to know the origin story of how, how that came to be. What was the thinking? And man, what really motivated you to do that? Anything that we missed before we sign?
No. If you want to sign your kid up for the your child up for the classes, definitely contact me. And even if you don't and you just want a book, contact me. I do all of this. I bind them myself. I literally do the whole book and design it myself.
Wonderful.
So.
And how yeah.
So it's not on the so this is kind of new. Yeah,
Right.
This is new. So I'm having a dilemma now trying to figure out if I want to add it to the Pretty Protection website or if I want to create a whole new page. But it will be in my TikTok shop by the end of the week.
Oh, and what's your handle on TikTok?
Pretty Protection.
All right. Hey, listen, look forward to seeing you in a couple of weeks.
Yes.
This is the CSRN podcast, our week in review. We'll be right back.
It's the Panama Canal.
En esta hermosísima ciudad de Orlando.
I'm here in Barranquilla, Colombia, and in sunny Miami. Daytona Beach, mis amigos, that's where we're at today.
Desde la ciudad de Cartagena, Colombia.
We are in Orlando right now, here in Florida.
I'm Helene Sheets, Director of Marketing and Communications at beautiful Lourdes University, and we've been a proud sponsor and supporter of Voces Latinas TV for over a decade. It has been a fantastic partnership. It's been our doorway into the Latino community. We've met so many incredible people, created so many partnerships. Our students absolutely love the connections we've made through Voces Latinas TV, and we're looking forward to at least another decade, 2 decades.
All right, all right, we're back. This is the CSRN podcast, our week in review, and man, big shout out to Haley Shears and Pretty Protection to come on with us and talk about self-care, some of the things that she does. I didn't know she colors.
Yeah.
All right, but I know that is a thing that that people do to relieve stress and kind of stay busy too.
Adult coloring is awesome. I
that's
fully
dope.
support that.
That's dope. Hey, Jody, before we, I wanted to stop this screen and put up something else. Last week, we raised the flag at One Government Center, and I wanted to talk to you about this year, you got an opportunity to actually raise the flag.
Yep.
All right.
And first person.
Right.
Since I don't do selfies or lives anymore, or anything like that, but you can feel what it's like just in case, you ever do get to raise a flag in your city. Because fun fact, before we started doing this, city council people, commissioners, they didn't go out there and touch them flags.
No.
So this was a chance for them to do something historical, even though they have been in office for decades, some of them. They got a chance to do something that makes Toledo, again, unique out of all of the places in the city, or all the places in the country.
Yeah. And also big shout out to CSRN, the NAACP Toledo branch, because 5 years ago, we were trying to do this and just kind of hit a knowledge wall. It's not like somebody doesn't want you to do it. You just don't know how. And sometimes when you don't know how to do it, you might start to think that people are keeping something from you. So a big shout out to Willie Perryman, Reverend Willie Perryman of Jerusalem Baptist Church. He pulled us to the side and said, hey, look, here's what you do. The steps 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we did it and we stuck with it, even though at the 11th hour, I think it was the city of Toledo decided that it wouldn't be a good idea because if we raise our flag, you'd have to raise everybody else's. And it was Ray Wood that stepped up. Yep. It was Pete Gherkin that stepped up, and it was me that I was not going downstairs and telling the press and everybody that joined us on that day that we weren't raising it. Mm-hmm. Although some of the people on the, I don't know if we were on the 18th floor or the 8th floor, some of the people were saying, well, Brother Washington, if you just tell them that it was a misunderstanding, I'm like, I'm not that, you know. Yeah. I'm not that. I'm going to tell them the truth that you guys said that you were going to do it. Then at the last minute, you decided to move the goalposts, which is something that we're used to. So, yeah. And then right when I came downstairs.
I just came through security check getting the message.
Yeah, and like, oh. I was at the podium. I was about to say, good evening, everyone. And Pete Gherkin and Willie Perryman came down and said, hey, look, it's on. So good looking. Those are some of the stories nobody knows.
Yeah.
And I also
went completely differently.
And also, just because we're raising a flag doesn't mean that we did it by ourselves. All right. But I don't know who else would have done it. All right. If we hadn't stepped up.
Yeah.
All right, Jody, listen, I want to share a couple of other things with us regarding what do I want to share? I want to share what we were doing inside the city council commissioner chamber. Here we go. It takes me a minute to get it up.
Oh, no,
get it on the screen.
Okay, you know. All right. For those of those people who could not be there, it was a great ceremony again. We had Tracy Perryman doing the National Black Anthem. And if you go on our page or my page, you can see the last 5 years, maybe this week, if not March, I'll be putting videos and photos up of this year for 5 years now.
And I think coming up on your screen, and it's already on mine, that's Dr. Tracy Perryman, Center of Hope, Youth Services, that's singing the Black National Anthem. And she just brought it all that day. Yeah. She brought it all that day. I appreciate that. And also we asked her to say a few words, you know, because sometimes if you're not on the program, and if we want you to be on the program, you're going to be on the program. All right, we'll make it happen. And there's a couple other things I wanted to share with you, Jody. Okay, I think that's right when we were opening up there.
Mm-hmm. And if you go on the commissioner page, you can see the whole programming from beginning to end, because it is public record and all that stuff. As you can see behind us, that is not just the flag raised on the outside, but every session that they have, every meeting, that is now our flag there.
Our flag is in, right. We have a flag outside that's flying right now at One Government Center. And we have a flag that's posted up in the commissioner's chamber. And it's going to be up until the end of February, because it's going to join the flag that we've got in here in the studio. So we're not going to just let them have it. All right.
Gotta come back only out on consignment.
Right. It's not going down like that. And I mentioned earlier in the show that I thought that this year was the first year that our flag flown with the city of Toledo flag, but you said it also flown in.
I believe it was 23 or 22 after 5 years, because I believe the first year it started off in the middle, then it went over, then it got mixed up. That was the 1 year where, you know, it was hung wrong, but we were actually making a statement. It just went over people's head.
Yeah, it was like Kendrick Lamar's concert.
Right. People just didn't get it, that you could take somebody's whole career and break it down into the point to saying the message in a song while staying on beat, that's talent right there, because it just says that I've been thinking about this forever.
That's right.
You just been, unfortunately, you brought the catalyst, but yeah, for them and for that and stuff, I'm enjoying it, because it's also, as you're coming down that street, like for all the public transportation, because shout out to Tarda, they did a mural with Mercedes from Arts Commission and a whole bunch of other stuff of Rosa Parks. So as you're coming down the bus from the lineups that we have here, that's the first flag you see.
I'm looking for my cheat sheet. Some of the things that we said that we were going to make sure that we mentioned. It's 6:57. All right. I wanted to talk about the social justice trifecta that's happening. Most people wonder, how did 2020 happen? It wasn't just the murder of George Floyd. It was Breonna Taylor. It was Tamir Rice. It was Trayvon Martin. It was Freddie Gray.
Yeah.
It was Laquan McDonald. There was so many, Aubrey. There was so many murders taking place that something was the final straw. Yeah. And when that time happened, somebody had to act. There was so many of us that didn't want to act. So right now we have the situation with, I don't want to call our brothers and sisters immigrants, because they were here first, before they were even called Mexican, before they were even conquered by the Spaniards. That's why they have Spanish names.
Yeah.
That's why they're Catholic. That's why they speak Spanish. It's not like they were here. All right. No, they were conquered like we were in the Olmecs, in many others. The situation with Gaza, the illegal state of Israel only existed after 47.
Yep.
It was never there. Never there. So now we need to act as if the people of Gaza it's okay to just move them to somebody else's country and then make that the Riviera of the Middle East. How? I mean, but you know what? We're
Gulf of Mexico,
Jody.
Gulf of America.
We're living.
Stated.
If a person is a religious person, this is that time when countries and empires start checking off that list right before they fall. You know, so if we had an America checklist, all right, we can just check it off. Yeah. Is education, all right?
That midnight
infrastructure,
clock is moving a little bit closer. Doomsday clock. Yeah, it's probably been done. All right. They just didn't tell us. They keep it at 11:55. It's a quarter after 1. Man. We just don't know. So all of these things are taking place, along with the immigrant situation, the Gaza situation. There's this thing with DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion. That means that whenever white people, it appears that the landscape is being leveled. It just has to have a slight appearance, and they lose their mind. So that just lets you know that it matters not that we worked for over 300 years to give you what you got. All right. You don't even want us getting a leg up. You know, we were your bootstraps. So you got these things happening. You got the blackout that's happening on the 28th, which we're asking. Let me bring that on the screen, and I'm going to have to wrap this up, Jody. And while you're looking at that, and then the catalyst of all this stuff is, again, as has been reiterated so many times, this is the point in time where people are like, what was everybody doing before it all fell to shit? Before it was like, well, you know, we did some stuff and we were angry about it, but it was literally happening in our face.
Yep.
With Birthright, with basically him pushing the limit on what a commander-in-chief is supposed to do with the federal employees, with buyouts, with basically of what it looks like in a slow process while you're
Yeah.
living through it
Well,
as a regime changes.
yeah,
It is
well,
not just
I'm a firm believer that the pharaohs just passed the baton to the next.
yeah.
The Bushes are going to pass it to the Clintons. The Clintons going to pass it to the Obamas. The Obamas going to pass it to the Trumps. The Trumps to the Bidens. So it's almost like changing managers at McDonald's. This manager may not call you the N-word, but you're still going to get the same thing that's coming from behind the counter. So on February 23rd, we're asking everyone, don't buy anything unless it's from a black business. It says on this paper, a small business, but look for a black business first, second, and third. And do this, it says they want to start with 1 day and then 3. And if you're able to do that, don't go back.
Right.
All right. Don't go back. We've been doing this since 10/10/15. And we asked everybody not to buy during that Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year. One of the problems with the way we move is it's cool to do it on the 28th. I'm going to participate, but we need to get them where it hurt. That's in that Christmas time. That's when they're banking.
Valentine's,
all right. Look,
July.
Look, doing it on the 28th is like telling me that I can't have a 4th dessert after Thanksgiving dinner. All right. All right. I already got everything that I could get, but we're still going to do it. All right. We're still going to do it. Yeah. But that's how I felt.
So, and as we are preparing ourselves, because we will not be here, or Brother Washington, I think you'll be here next week, possibly. So I know I won't be here because I'm getting ready to get my James Baldwin on before coming back.
What does that mean? James Baldwin? Are those new shoes? The retro Baldwin
videos. But so actually, what was that? 2018.
Yeah,
2018. We took over the library, or not the library, the museum.
Yeah.
Me, you, Ruth, Julian, a whole bunch of other supporters and allies and stuff held the Toledo Museum of Art in both rooms to show the film.
I'm Not Your Negro.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So
that's what's up.
there's a famous bridge over there, and it wasn't intentional. That's just been off my bucket list, sister stuff. But then I'm thinking about it. It's like, oh, Black History Month, I'm gonna find that bridge. Somebody's informed me already of an English bilingual open mic place. But just to kind of go through the rundown of stuff that you guys might have missed since we weren't here, and things that's going on for the chocolate day presents unboxing and stuff like that. Here's some stuff that's happening, that has happened locally, and I'll let you know some stuff, which is a shorter list that did happen.
All right.
Sunday, we had Uncloistered Poetry Online. That's a Zoom link you go into. Shout out to Joni McKentry. On Saturday, there was the same thing, except live at the attic. I know there was some weather around, but I did see a lot of people still out there. So that's awesome. There was the Her Map, Her Journal, the Journey to Her series. That's, in fact, let me go on, click on, make sure I got the right people's name and everything. Key to Becoming and a whole bunch of Journey series part 1. But if you click on it, it might be in still Facebook. I'm trying to get one of the people that I know. It was a vision board and all the stuff. So that happened on Sunday. There was the Toledo premiere of Interstate Saturday, February 8th at River East Gallery. Yes. There was something tomorrow that is postponed, so I won't be mentioning that for tomorrow. But shout out to Contron and Chili Rodriguez and Miller Lite, because that's how I can remember your name. But the 3 owners of that art gallery there, they've done some amazing stuff for the community. We had our first mural thing here over the summer. Going backwards, we had the Toledo Has Spoken. Shout out to Del Rey. I believe it's Del Rey. But that is at 2108 Collingwood Boulevard, the Collingwood Presbyterian Church. We will be back there this Saturday. So if you're a singer, performer, all that stuff, poet, come up. And I was here. I met somebody, told them I was going. They showed up. They wrote, read some poems by some other people. So even if you got other people, come. I believe it's going to be on Buckeye as one of their programming channels and stuff like that. So that's good. Toledo Black Contractors monthly meeting breakfast met at Sam and Charlie's Saturday. There was the spoken word Lost and Found at the Toledo Portal School for the Arts. That was great. I attended because even though people know me as doing this stuff, I learned by actually showing up at shows and being participant in it. I'm always going to be a student. So no matter how many lists or awards I get on, I'm always going to show up to an open mic and just listen.
That's what's up.
Also there was Dirty Kicks, if you know him, by James Dickerson, in the same place at the Portal at 6 o'clock. He had a gallery reception, was awesome. I told him personally that because he doesn't have his books in, but me and Brother Washington need a signed copy of that first book when it comes out. So that's me on air reminded you, Mr. Dickerson. I need
that's
a copy
right.
of that book. Going back a little bit further, we had the Scribes Artist Spotlight Mixer at 101 North Summit. That was February 1st. That was awesome. They're a publishing kind of like newsletter, somewhat like The Truth, out of Columbus, and they take submissions and stuff like that. There was the 419 Case Glass Ball. That was at the Golden Road Artist and Chess Panel. Do you know that the first African-American grandmaster in chess history was here?
I had no idea.
He was here. So shout out to the Toledo Museum of Art, which is actually still up as one of the best museums. Because I always say that in the library, and I'm like, which one is which? Because we all are best. We won a Pulitzer Prize thing a couple years ago, but the museum is up for now. It's like 6 days left as being the one top 10 in the United States. So Toledo is awesome. You will do better and all that good stuff. And that's about as far back as I'm going to go because there's a few more things coming up real quick. Even if the weather, I haven't seen too many things postponed, but if the weather postpones it, I'm pretty sure the organizers will let you know. So here's a rundown of stuff until you see my awesome face and hear my voice before we go into the I Am Black History video. So people was like, oh. But so coming up, we got the Lovers Mic, Toledo, Ohio, 419, Cold Bar, OnStar. So if you come into that, it should be a great show. Nate Hicks, Chanel, and another artist.
That sounds good.
Yeah, it is. All of them are awesome performers. Colette Elise, I probably said your name wrong, but that's how I see it. So I'm still trying to give you flowers. Valentine's Day and Peyton Puff at Cups of Art. That's over where the old Libby building is. That's this Friday. There's a charcuterie and chill at the Truth Art Gallery.
What do you call that? A charcuterie?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Back when I used to work in Black Cloister, I used to actually make them and stuff,
okay.
You know, fruits and veggies.
I mean, y'all doing it big
and stuff. So that is at the Truth Art Gallery, which is across from the newly built, soon to be open, I believe they said spring.
Yeah.
YMCA right there off
Wayman Palmer,
Franklin, and
Bancroft.
And then that is mostly all the things this Saturday at 2, poetry prize pre-selection. So if you want your poetry in the art museum, there is a docent-led tour to show you the art pieces that do qualify if you want to make a submission. I might do that this year, but we shall see. And that's all I got until hopefully we see each other soon.
All right.
Before the end of the month.
And you know what? I wanted to make a point to put up this week's edition of the Final Call newspaper. I thought I had one with me. Yeah, I do. No, I don't. Okay. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. The front of the paper says a sinister plot for occupation. Global outrage erupts over the U.S. President Donald Trump's announced plan for America to take over Gaza and forcibly expel thousands of Palestinians from their rightful homeland. That's about as America as it gets, all right? And there's an article by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan at the top that says, our sentence in America is up. God has come for the Black man and woman. It is what it is. And this week we were out with the Final Call newspaper on the corners of Bancroft in Detroit. This was probably from maybe about 2 o'clock to 3:30. When we got out, Jody, the weather was fine. No snow, maybe 30, 32 degrees or whatever. still getting a lot of love. Then about half an hour later, it started to snow.
Yep, and it did. It got better though later on that night.
Right. So shout out to Brother Harold. That's me in the middle. That's Yasin.
Wait, who's in the middle?
That's me, Brother Washington in the middle, right there. Yasin on the left or right, depending on where you're looking. And yeah, Toledo. We've done this in Toledo. Well, I've done this for maybe about 33 years. This is my 34th year being a member of the Nation of Islam here in Toledo. And I think that they began in Toledo in the mid 80s. I knew nothing about this in the mid 80s. I don't even think I was in town. I was probably in school, either Penn State or State Penn, wherever that was. Wherever that was, I was getting my education and my diploma. And lastly, we always say the crowning jewel for Black History Month is Savior's Day. And what is Savior's Day? Savior's Day is the Nation of Islam's annual convention, and we do that to celebrate the birth of Master Fard Muhammad, the founder of the Nation of Islam. His birth date is February 26, 1877. So every year we give a State of the Nation of Islam speech. This year is going to be Minister Farrakhan's Assistant Minister Ishmael Muhammad is going to give the keynote address. This is in Chicago. This is the first time that we will have everything on the grounds of Mosque Mariam. That's our headquarters. Normally we're at either the United Center or Ford Field or Cobo Hall in Detroit. This year we're kind of bringing it in. You can find tickets on NOI.org. If you don't want to travel to Chicago, you'll be able to stream it live, NOI.org, February 23rd. All right. And I think that that's all I got. But if you like what we do and you want to support what we do, where's our, I think we have a new Cash App and a new PayPal. I'm trying to find them on here.
Awesome,
Here we go.
Awesome.
All right.
But again, as we reiterate,
yeah, CSRN Toledo 419. PayPal is CSRN 419. We still have the Black Lives Matter signs, $20 each. We've got the defund the Toledo police signs, especially since their main boy, Tony Dia, who will pull up at our protest and act as if he is the savior for Toledo. And look, all of the police were hyping him up. They had Dia for city council signs everywhere. They put this man on their shoulders when all the while he was stealing from them and doing it in his dead son's name, which is about as grimy as you can get. And
watch the news more.
Yeah, I always felt, and I always will have feel some type of way, the way he started advocating for justice right after his son. He did it in a way it was like, man, you know.
I remember he came up to the pre-2020 May Day that happened and was trying to do some stuff, and he got quickly shot.
Yeah, he got walked down. He got walked down. He got walked down, and he knows it. And he tried to do some assalamu alaikum. No, bro, it ain't. We ain't never. Ever there. I know that they just call you, that's your Detroit name, you know, because most people that say they practice Islam, they'll come in our community and they'll set up shop and they'll call themselves Mike, Steve, Sammy. Those are Detroit names. That's Hassan. That's Omar. That's Jaleel. All right, come on, bro. Don't even give me that. All right. But yeah, so it is what it is. It is what it is. Jody, and lastly, we have our Facebook page is Community Solidarity Response Network of Toledo. That's a lot to say, but you just got to do it once. All right, we're trying to get 100,000 subscribers. That way they can send us that little plaque in the mail that shows that we've arrived. And I'm sure I could take it to Key Bank and get what, $5 and
we could do a little bit more self-funding.
Yeah, well, I guess we could. Jody, I think that's it on everything that I wanted to say, and plus and more. All right, got a lot of stuff off my chest today.
So I'm going to mentally prepare myself as I'm crip walking in my head.
Okay,
as he explains this for us.
All right, and what 5 minutes of heat means? Is that what you said? Yeah, what that means. All right, this is what 5 minutes of heat. When we started CSRN, we never wanted to use Robert rules because I don't know who Robert is. We wanted to find a way to close our meetings out, have some soul and creativity. So we come up with 5 minutes of heat, which comes off the song 5 Minutes of Funk by Houdini. Jody, you wouldn't even, I don't know if you were born, all right? But anyway, we just flipped the song and we asked for members of CSRN to close us out with creative expression. And that could be some spoken word. It could be a short rap. It could be a limerick or whatever. And Jody has been our resident 5 minutes of heat person for these 10 years. And it's our 10th year of our victory lap. And to my left and to your right, he has his own book. Now that's a flex right there. All right. Not only are you going to read poetry, but you're going to read it from your own book. Oh man. Okay. All right.
My Samuel Jackson on real quick.
Yes, sir.
So that is the description of this, and it's very interesting. I'm doing the series now. You can go to my page. I have begun to share more on our page because monoliths and stuff like that, but you got to promote, let people know. So this is Childhood Trauma Series Volume 1. This piece, I actually opened up the 2022 flag raising with. So it's friendly enough. Also, again, I can't reiterate it enough, as an entertainer, as a performer, as somebody who has honed his craft for over their 20,000 hours and 10 years and stuff like that. When you can edit your work to where it might be used for another audience, but you also have to take it to mainstream, live, that's when you know you're good. So this piece is called...
All right, you good,
I Am Black History. A controversial title and all that stuff, but it is dedicated to, as if you ever do get the book, this is on page number 48, to Mr. Julian Mack himself, the Golden Rule Man. While I was thinking of the stuff, because back in the day, if you ever follow our page, he was the one that hit you with the straight facts, the history books, the stuff, which I'm not good at because, I was there, but I can't remember that he did. So I dedicated this piece to him as through the telling of it. So I am Black History. Let's begin. Peace. I am Black history. My ancestors sacrificed, bled, cried, pleaded, and prayed to their ancestors for me to live to see today. My ancestors were stripped of their history, taken from their land, and given another tongue to speak fluently in the language that propagates the rewriting of their history. I am Black history. Still, that wasn't enough. After the chains came off, ships broken down and monetized for the worth of a drop of blood, we existed in limbo. My great-great-grandmother was a slave. My great-grandmother was a sharecropper. My grandmother had to live through the trauma of the civil rights era and Jim Crow rule. My mother had to live through the politics of gentrification, redistricting, the war on drugs, project precipitation, welfare for the broken generations of curses left by the well-fed, to complain for their part in history and the separation of family due to court rule. I am Black history. You tell us to build with the scraps that you give us. Off the meager remnants of the country we help build, off the backs, blood, and sweat of people who were ripped from their families, torn from their homes, and told that you are savages that belong to us. You burn, bomb, and massacre any congregation of people that find hope within themselves. Tulsa, Galveston, Detroit, Black Wall Street, Dearborn, Black Panther, SNCC, NAACP, Black Lives Matter. I am Black history. My family tree looks like a tattered and torn tapestry of broken buds and dead limbs that still somehow flourish to bear fruit. You brainwash your children with falsified history, only highlighting the moments of accomplishment, editing out the struggles of my people, the success of my people, the strength of my people, the resilience of our blood, giving us symbolisms of heroes that you personally handpick, consoling us with awarded inventors and creators who never got the recognition they deserved while they were alive. So just sit here and take this. I am Black history. I live today because my ancestors did. You tried to break history, you tried to, and women mercilessly raped me. Blood that they spilled runs through my veins. Their cries out for freedom flow through my lungs, and their memories keep me standing strong with my head held high, answering to no less than Sir, King, because they filled me with such. I am Black history. You will never forget me. Happy Black History Month.
And as always, we snap our fingers. Well done, Jody. And listen, next week I'm going to be riding solo. Next week I'm riding solo here.
Yeah, I'll try and, but no, I'll still be in the air.
No. We're going to figure it out. We're going to figure it out. I'll make some phone calls because we need to get at least a couple of Jodys in order to make this happen. And as always, all lives can't matter until what?
Black Lives Matter.
And Black lives can't matter until
all Black lives matter.
Justice or else?
Yeah.
Peace.